Hello everybody, Ryan here from Guitar Teacher Tools. Well, as you can see, I just opened up this Lekato effects processor. Saw this on the TikTok shop a couple of months ago, right before Christmas, and I've always been hesitant about, TikTok shop, and I actually bought this off of Amazon, by the way, but I saw it on TikTok and people were advertising it, and ever since then I've seen this quite a bit. And again, I've always been hesitant about cheap equipment. I just recently spent 500 bucks to upgrade this. I had the ME8 for 25 years or so. It finally crapped out of me, so I bought this about a year ago for $500, the ME90. And while it's great, it does 1,000 things. I'm still learning how to do it because a lot of the new upgrades in the last 30 years, USB and preamps and all that stuff is all brand new technology that mine did not have, so I'm still working on that. But I would record my content just over the air with a microphone. Sometimes I tried to plug the microphone into this iRig Stream Pro, which would then go into my phone. Never really liked the sound too much, or just doing it over the air in my room. So when I saw this had the ability to also have the preamps, and they say here on the back, there's even a feature here, it says plug directly into the phone. I was very curious because if I could just use something nice and simple for some basic videos, then that's great. I don't gig a lot, I hardly at all, to be honest, with my electric guitar. It's mostly content. So I was curious to see how well this would work for the price. And I'd mentioned it to a couple of my high school students because I teach high school guitar as a cheap alternative. You know, most of their parents are not going to run out and buy them $500, but if this works, mostly, they get 3 buttons to work with, 3 presets they can work with. I mean, for 35 bucks, didn't think you can really beat it. And you can still plug your guitar in, you can still go to the amp and everything. And then, so I hadn't really thought too much about it, but one of my students did get one this last week, and I asked if he could bring it into class, because my main goal is we want to do electric guitar stuff for school. But in the past, when I've done these types of things, it's been very frustrating because having the kids bring in their own amps, their own processors, and it's just kind of a mess. So I do have a PA system that we have used, or I use on a regular basis, because I have an acoustic electric for class to be able to project the sound. So I thought, well, 35 bucks if this works. So anyways, he brought it in. We played around with it it only took me about 15-20 minutes to realize that how great that was going to work. And then if I can get 2 or 3 of these for kids, because we have a lot of guitar trios that we play, little jazz trios and things, I can program these all to be the exact same. I can use the software that you can go online and preset it. So I could just preset it, plug these in, and add all the presets the same. So they're all going to sound the same. Plug it into the PA, because it's got preamps, it's going to sound really good. So I was pretty impressed with the sound. So I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and order one for myself, again, for the cheap. I might just use this at school anyways. I don't know. I've got that to work with the stuff, but if I can get this, just a much simpler tool to work with that, I'm pretty pleased with that outcome from there. So the idea for me is, again, to take these to school and have, again, a bunch of kids plug into these, plug into the PA system, and then they're all going to sound good. We don't have to worry about 1,000 amps. And again, these have built-in batteries and things like that. So I'm going to spend a few days with this. I'm going to record a bunch of little clips, all the different features, and we'll put this all together so you can see if it's worthwhile for you. But my thought is, if it's $35, I only get a year or 2 out of it, so be it. It'd be great. All right, so let's take a look at the basic device itself. First off, this is a full metal encasing, which I was impressed on that it's not plastic. And again, we obviously have metal buttons here. So we have our 3 presets, so we're going to be able to have 3 different sounds set up. And then we've got all of our knobs to make our different things like this. Now you can plug this in the computer and go to their website and do the tone editing from there. I'll do a separate clip with that, but for now, let's just pretend that we've got the device itself. So we have a couple of different things here. If I press these 2, I can go into, if I just press and click, I can go into the edit mode, and then these buttons will all light up and I can do that. Again, this is something I'll do a little bit later, just showing the basics here. We can double click here or hold these for the tuner. And then if we hold this down, so if we just click it, we'll get edit, but if we hold these 2 down, we get Bluetooth. And again, we'll go over that later, how that works. I can hold these down and get a tuner. We'll go over again all these features. I'm just showing the basics from here. And then we have our volume, and then again we have our editing knobs from here. Let's take a look at the back. So on the back we have obviously our in 1/4" jack for guitar. We have our power button. It's built-in battery, rechargeable. It's supposed to last up to 12 hours on a single charge. So we'll kind of, I don't know if I'll ever be playing that much. We have a USB-C out. This is, and you do get the cable for that. So you get a USB-C to A on one end, so you can plug it into your computer, use it as an audio interface. And then we do have, it has a dedicated one for a phone or a tablet, and we have a cable for that. And the only thing I'm disappointed with is they want you to use this for recording, and I already know this is going to be kind of a pain because I don't have a headphone jack anymore. My iPad does, but the iPad has a crappy camera, so if I want to record video and audio, that's not going to work very well. I do have the adapter for this to go to Lightning for my phone. We'll see if that works. And then obviously we have a headphone jack, which is great. I'm really looking forward to be able to just plug this headphone in and be able to play without disrupting everybody. And then obviously we can plug this into an amp from here. So those are just the basic features that we have on the device itself. All right, so here's how the tuner works. We hold these two down. Okay, now I play. All right, so this highlights, so this is in tune, this is a little bit low, this is a little bit high. You see the blue highlights the letter. There we go, tuner. All right, so we come to one of the disadvantages that I find with this. I find it very strange, to be honest. So they give you this white cable that has a phone jack for it to plug directly into your phone. However, this end is just the 8-inch headphone jack. So I've had this for a while going into my Lightning. I have an iPhone 13. I just find that very strange because almost all the modern phones don't have a headphone jack anymore. My iPad still does, so I could plug in the iPad, but if I'm going to record video, we all know that that's going to be terrible. I guess if I'm just recording audio, it would work fine, but if I want to do video and audio at the same time, I find that very strange that this is how you have to do this. So I've got the headphones so I can hear myself going into the phone, and we'll have the video coming up right after that.
Okay, so here we are with the Lekato straight out of the box, plugged into a PA system. Now this is my personal PA system. I use this mainly for my acoustic electric classical guitar for that type of performing. So it is a Dean Markley head, so it's probably not the best for electric guitar stuff, but this is my personal PA system. And again, so we've got the amp modular, and we've got the IR cabinets. I'm still a little bit new to all of that stuff, but I'm assuming that's what I need to give it the pure sound, and again, just boost it with the PA system. So let's see what we've got. So here's our rhythm selection. Okay, pretty good. Let's see, we got a little extra. So pretty heavily reverbed, delayed out. I'm definitely going to change some of these things, but this, again, I just wanted to show what this is like straight out of the box. Here's the mid channel. So way more calmed down. Okay, probably more for lead. Very heavy delayed, very heavily reverb. Okay, and then we have our clean basic channel. It's a lot lower volume. There we go. So there's what we've got going into a PA, no modifications, no adjustments to the channels and the sounds at this point. All right, so now we've got the Lekato plugged straight in the amp, straight out of the box, no changes. So that means we've got the cabinets, we've got the preamp. I don't know what that horrible hissing sound is from. Somebody can help me out with that, but I just know that this went pretty loud. That's the only thing I kind of tested before. Obviously that's some of the hissing. Doesn't do it on the other channels. So I'm kind of curious. So here's what we've got again. Straight out of the box, rhythm lead, rhythm. Our middle or lead. Maybe some power. Okay, definitely tweak that around in our clean. That's a little soft. So I definitely need to adjust. Clean needs a little bit more volume boost, it looks like. Okay, that's better. Okay, well that's everything I have right now for the Lekato pedal. Again, some errors in the recording, but I didn't go back and figure out why the GarageBand and the iPad did not actually record the sounds. To be honest, it's good to kind of see that there are some things you have to kind of take into consideration. If I figure out what the differences are, if I can fix that, I'll definitely make a follow-up video with that. But Hopefully this is helpful for you to see at least the basics, some of the sounds, what you get straight out of the box. And again, for the price and everything, I think it's well worth it. And hopefully this video helped you make that decision for yourself. See you on the next one. Bye.